Hey everybody, this is Doa back with another StarCraft 2 commentary. Just thought I'd cast a quick game for you before I went to bed here today. I am very tired but excited as well about the... actually, I'm excited about the release of the World of Warcraft expansion. I know that's like, oh, he said that and he likes StarCraft 2, but it's actually okay to like WoW and StarCraft at the same time. I definitely don't play it as much as I used to, but I still play every once in a while. It's kind of fun, so I'm looking forward to it. Looking forward to doing some questing, some PvP, of course. But anyway, to our game here, we've got GoOdy spawning as a purple Terran here in the about the 5 o'clock position on Delta Quadrant. His opponent is going to be mouzHasu, or I believe it's pronounced Hasu, I'm not 100% sure actually, spawning as our blue Protoss up in the 2 o'clock position. They are going to be at close positions here on Delta Quadrant. And I haven't really cast a lot of games with Delta Quadrant. It's kind of an interesting map. You've got this one Xel'Naga tower that becomes important a little bit later in the game, but earlier on, especially with positions like this where you can kind of walk down past the range to your opponent's base, it doesn't play quite as big of a role as it would on most maps. You don't really need that early Xel'Naga tower quite as much on Delta Quadrant, I feel. We do see GoOdy starting a wall off. Some Terran players like to wall off against Protoss, some don't. I guess I kind of prefer not to, just because I've had bad experience with losing supply depots to stalkers. But maybe that just says more about my play than it does about walling off. But anyway, GoOdy is getting his gas at the normal time. In the meantime, if we go back to mouzHasu's base, we do see a gateway going up as well as a gas. So nothing really out of the ordinary from each player yet. Mouse, why do I keep calling him Mouse? That's a clan, not a person. Hasu, I'll say, is chrono boosting out some probes. We see him scouting as well, scouting the counterclockwise direction. And he's really not going to find anything until the very end. He's doing the Doa scouting pattern, I like to call it, which is where you scout the complete wrong direction and find your opponent at the last time possible. In the meantime, we do see GoOdy doing a little bit of scouting of his opponent's base. He went the right way, and he is going to see that cybernetics core start for Hasu as well. So right now, things looking very normal. A little bit of PvT. It looks like GoOdy is getting a Reaper, so that's going to be a little bit interesting. It's going to let him get some scouting information, maybe kill off a couple things, trying to build a bunker there, but that's going to actually be repelled fairly easily by GoOdy, bringing some probes down to handle that. Probes, of course, very good at handling things like that. So yeah, really no backup with that. The SCV comes in to try to start building more. We're going to have to see if this Reaper is going to come in anytime soon. It doesn't look like it will. The Reaper actually just finishing right now, so that's not going to be able to really protect the SCV as it was trying to build that bunker or anything like that. We do see Hasu putting down a pylon here to sort of get a little bit of vision over this ramp. Always a good thing to do on this map. Now Hasu is in a little bit of a difficult position. I'll tell you why in just a second. We do see that Reaper moving in for GoOdy. He is going to take a couple shots and then jump back off the cliff to escape. He does see a little bit about what his opponent is planning. Was bringing a couple SCVs in there too. I wonder if he was still thinking of doing a bunker, but he will need to move very quickly if he's not going to lose anything to the Stalker. Hasu being very strong with the Stalker, but the Marauder is all out now. So, all out now? What does that mean? So it looks like GoOdy is going to be able to push back Hasu just a little bit, able to put on that early pressure with the SCVs and the Marauder and the Reaper going for that bunker again. And this is actually a little bit of a concern for Hasu. You can see that from the number of drones he has, or probes he has pulled off of the mineral line. But actually GoOdy losing everything except for that Marauder and the SCV that is building that bunker. Slow has finished, so he will be able to slow down that Zealot just a little bit. Another Marauder coming in to do some reinforcing. And they are going to have to be forced back a little bit. The Zealot and the 2 Stalkers just a little bit too much to handle. We do see a second gateway going up for Hasu, no doubt because of that early pressure, and actually a Stargate going up as well. And I don't know if GoOdy actually saw that. No, he did not see that. So he may be able to surprise GoOdy a little bit. Hasu may be able to surprise GoOdy with some tech from that Stargate. In the meantime, we do have Stim being upgraded at that tech lab. And 2 more barracks going up, 1 with the reactor, and then this one's probably going to have a tech lab as well. This is a pretty classic, good early pressure opening you can use with Terran, the 3 barracks, 2 with the tech lab, 2 with the tech lab, 1 with the reactor. Oh boy, I'm a little bit tired, aren't I? Anyway, it looks like Hasu is going to be taking down these rocks, and I'd actually be a little bit surprised if he does take this base. This is that difficult thing that I was actually planning on talking about a little while ago, is that it's so easy to be cliffed. I mean, your opponent can bring in medevacs, banshees. I mean, in these positions where Hasu knows that GoOdy is just right down here, I really have to question the decision to expand. I think this may come back to haunt him a little bit later, but we're going to have to see what happens. It looks like GoOdy pushing out at about 40 food. That's kind of the good early timing to push out with this build, I feel. Some people like to wait for 50 food and push out around the 7 minutes mark, but if you look at the game time here, we are at the 7-minute mark, so his supply a little bit possibly behind because of that early aggression. The micro, you know, taking away from his macro just a little bit. You should be able to push out with about 50 supply at the 7-minute mark with this build if all the macro goes flawlessly. Looks like he is moving in. Those SCVs will be tanking. Nice force field, except it doesn't quite do it. Marauder just squeezing through there like, ugh! Gotta lose some weight. Not left hanging though, of course. Marauders known for their hatred of being left hanging. And it looks like he's going to try to push up another bunker. GoOdy is actually going to be able to do a little bit of damage with this. I think that SCV is getting a lot of time to build that bunker. In the meantime, Hasu bringing everything here. Some Phoenixes lifting a few Marauders where they actually are perfectly safe, so those Marauders will be able to wait out the fight in safety and security. In the meantime, GoOdy moving in some more Marauders and Marines taking out those Zealots. This bunker getting closer to finishing. It does finish. One pylon does go down. These Phoenixes moving in a little bit more. He's going for the other pylon. This pylon goes down as well. No, the pylon lives just barely. No, it is down now. Okay, so Marines in the bunker. They're going to go after these gateways here. A second bunker going down, and Hasu is actually in quite a bit of trouble here. Void Ray, first Void Ray out for Hasu though, so this may be exactly what he needs to push back this aggression. More Marauders coming in, but not a whole lot of Marines, although this bunker is going to be a little bit of a concern for Hasu. This bunker will not finish. This gateway goes down as well. We do have another Void Ray being warped in by Hasu right now, and he is looking in desperate straits right now, trying to warp in pylons, pulling all of his drones. I don't know if he's going to be able to survive this. A couple Phoenixes in here, but just more Marauders and everything streaming in from GoOdy right now. Hasu is looking very weak. This may be a pretty quick game. GoOdy actually going after the Nexus now. 2 Void Rays out. He may be just trying to bide his time until he has enough to kill these Marines. Only 2 Marines, so these Void Rays do pretty much have free reign at this point. Another Marauder coming in. GoOdy really needing to bring in some Marines at this point. We do see 4 on the production tab, but he is so Marauder heavy. That is the big concern right now for GoOdy, is that he needs to protect this bunker with the Marines in it, because if he loses his ability to hit air, Hasu is going to survive. He's going after those Marines. Both the Marines go down, so right now all GoOdy has is that bunker with the Marines inside. The Void Rays coming in again. More Marauders being lifted, this time lifted and taken out. Marauders actually taking out the Nexus. Good thing there is a second one here down at the Natural, I guess. In the meantime, the Marines and Marauders camping out by this bunker. Stargate warping in another Void Ray, and wow, Hasu just clinging on to dear life. I think a lot of players would have GG'd by this time, but Hasu not giving up quite yet. More SCVs coming in right now. I know we haven't taken a look at the base of GoOdy for a while, but there's just so much action here. Let's just go back for just a second to see what he has. Still just those 3 barracks. It looks like there's a factory there as well going up now. He may be planning on expanding fairly soon too. SCV coming in, helping those Void Rays stay charged. That's very kind of him. And the Void Rays will try to keep up their charge on that Cybernetics core. 3 charged Void Rays coming in right now. No, they are going to be forced back by that group of Marines that do have stim, but they do keep the charge. 2 of them still charged. The third trying to charge up on this assimilator right now. Very exciting game here on Delta Quadrant. Hasu barely clinging to life, keeping those charged, going after that bunker there. The Marines that come into range are instantly vaporized by those lasers. And the Marines coming in right now, but not enough of them. And Hasu actually will be able to hold this, I think. He does have 4 Void Rays right now. This one getting away just at 2 life, barely escaping. And these Marauders are going to be left hanging whether they like it or not. Void Rays able to take out the remaining Marines and force back the Marauders. So wow, Hasu able to stay in this game, putting down more pylons. Let's take a look at the army tab, and actually Hasu only 10 supply behind, which is a little bit surprising here. Harvester count, he's not terribly behind either, and GoOdy still on 1 base. Actually, we do see the second command center just now being built, so Hasu may actually be able to come back and make a game out of this yet. He does have 4 Void Rays and a Phoenix roaming about the map right now. GoOdy trying to regroup, amazed probably that he didn't win that game right now. It looks like we do have a starport finishing right now, and there is a tech lab on this factory, so he may be thinking of switching these and going into a little bit of Banshee play. Otherwise, I wouldn't be surprised at all. Yeah, he is going to switch it with this reactor and start pumping out medevacs. Not a bad idea. Phoenixes for Hasu coming in and doing a little bit of scouting here as well. In the meantime, engineering bay down. No upgrades quite yet. So, and this command center is down as well. These Void Rays lurking about. They look like they want to do some damage. They are going to come in and get some charging action on this engineering bay. These SCVs will be in a lot of trouble once they charge up. And no counterattack from GoOdy right now either, according to the minimap. 4 fully charged Void Rays coming in. That is a lot of Marines, so that is going to be a bit of a concern here. Poking in just a little bit to try to take out a few Marines as best he can. GoOdy moving back with those Marines. We do have a little bit of Phoenix harass going on at the same time, so Hasu doing a great job staying in this game. He is going to lift up a couple of these SCVs and try to kill them. In the meantime, Void Rays killing off supply depots. The engineering bay is down, forcing another stim from GoOdy and then just pulling away. So these medevacs will have all their energy drained fairly quickly. Let's go back to the base of Hasu for just a moment. We do see another gateway being warped in. This Nexus has been rebuilt. He is going to continue pumping out Void Rays right now, as they are really the only thing keeping him in this game. 2 more gateways right there. A little bit more Phoenix harass going on from Hasu. Wow, this game is a lot more exciting than I thought it would be. I had heard good things about it, but man, this is non-stop action in the butt. And speaking of action, we do have a drop going down at the what is now the main base of GoOdy.